some that are substantial. We all understand that the country is a failing nation because of the way it's been run for the last 3.5 years. We're a failing nation. People are coming into our country by the millions and millions and millions. We have no idea who they are, where they come from. But we're also a failing economy. What happens is a radical California liberal economy broke the border and broke the world, frankly. They disrupted the entire world because as we go, oftentimes the world goes. She destroys everything she touches, and if she wins your finances in your country, you'll never recover. You're never going to recover. The radical left person wants to put price controls all over the price control, and they're driving up the prices, not down the prices. Harris has just declared that tackling inflation will be day one priority for her. It's going to be day one. But day one, really, for Kamala was 3.5 years ago. Where has she been? And why hasn't she done it? Why hasn't she done it? I hear her complaining all the time. She was the border czar, but she didn't do anything. The worst border czar in history. There's never been a border czar so bad. She's been unbelievable in terms of her badness to some of our allies, some of our great allies. You know what I'm talking about. Here is the record of economic calamity that Kamala is desperate for voters to ignore. She cast the tie-breaking votes that caused record inflation. She cast the votes. She's trying to blame Biden, as you know. So it was Biden, but I'm going to do a better job. But it was her. And she wants to do a better job. She's still got 5 months left. Right? But she can't do a better job. She doesn't know how to. And she's of a place in life where she wouldn't know what a better job is. It would destroy our country. And as a result of Kamala's inflation price hikes, it cost the typical household a total of $28,000. These are numbers coming from government. They're not coming from me. $28,000 cost the typical household. Kamala's inflation nightmare continues to cost the average American family $1,100 every single month. $1,100. Again, government numbers. You're paying $148 more a month on food every month. Average family. Because Kamala and her ideas, and Joe Biden too. I mentioned him, but he's sort of gonzo. It all started with the debate. I should have been a little bit easy. Somebody said your debate performance was horrible. I said, why? Because you forced him out of government. But I believe she'll be just as bad. I believe she's maybe in many ways going to be worse because he wasn't really a radical left. But she's real. He wasn't real. So I think she's going to be, in many ways, easier to beat than Joe Biden. What they did to him was disgraceful, by the way. And it really is a threat to democracy. It was a coup by people that wanted him out. They didn't do not the way they're supposed to do it. $129 more on energy and $241 more. This is all on rent. So if you have that, 148, 129, 241, then many other increases. You add it all up, it's thousands and thousands of dollars that she and he have cost people. The cost of a typical monthly mortgage has doubled since I left office, and that number was about 3 months old from the government, and now it's tripled. We had mortgage rates at around 2%, close to 2%, and they're now at 10%, and you can't get a mortgage. So that means it's a lot higher than 10%. I guess it means whatever they want to give over the money, that's a lot more than 10%. So when you think about double, they've actually quadrupled or more than that.
Let me guess.
The hotel. Young people are being devastated by what they've done to our country. Grocery prices have skyrocketed. Cereal up 26%. Bread is up 24%. Butter is up 37%. Baby formula is up 30%. Flour is up 38%. And eggs are up 46%. And many items are up at much higher rates than that. Now Kamala is reportedly proposing communist price controls. She wants price controls. And if they worked, I'd go along with it too, but they don't work. They actually have the exact opposite impact and effect. But it leads to food shortages, rationing, hunger, dramatically more inflation. Their Inflation Reduction Act, by the way, was a disaster. It's what caused the inflation. Their Inflation Reduction Act was a con job. They actually admitted that it wasn't really inflation that they did. They don't know why they did it, but they named it the Inflation Reduction Act. It was a very nice name. Got approved based on that. Unfortunately, people didn't understand it. I understood it. I said that's going to cause tremendous inflation, and it did, among other things like energy. She's running on the Maduro plan. We call it the Maduro plan, like something straight out of Venezuela and the Soviet Union. This announcement.
Hey, great work. Once we show him this photo, those vault codes is ours. And you know what? I'ma send it to his wife anyway. We robbing the bank, but that shit is wrong, y'all.
We have wars breaking out in the Middle East. We have the horrible war going on with Ukraine and Russia. All of these things would have never happened if I was president. Would have never, ever happened. And they didn't happen. Since Harris took office, car insurance is up 55%, and they just announced it's going to be substantially higher than that within the next week. They expect big increases in car insurance. It's out of control, and insurance generally. Thanks to Kamala's war on American energy, electricity prices are up 32%. Gasoline prices are up 50% and going higher. Meanwhile, real incomes are down by over $2,000 a year. So the incomes for people are down $2,000 on average a year, government numbers. The typical American has seen a 4% pay cut under Kamala and Biden. Crooked Joe Biden. Credit card debt has exploded by 50% under Harris to a record high. It's now at a record high, never been anywhere close. Since March, and by the way, people are going to have to start paying that, and it's not going to be a pretty sight for the next period of time. It could be a substantial time. Since March of 2022, the average middle-class household has lost $33,000 in wealth. How about that? $33,000. That's average. In July alone, 350,000 people were added to the unemployment rolls. It's a lot of people. 350,000 people added to the unemployment rolls. And think of that. That's in 1 month. That's right. July. Virtually 100% of the net job creation in the last year has gone to migrants. You know that? Most of the job creation has gone to migrants. In fact, I've heard that substantially more than beyond the number of 100%. It's a much higher number than that, but the government hasn't caught up with that yet. But virtually right now, as of the time they did this, virtually 100% of the net job creation in the last year has gone to migrants. Harris gave work permits and Social Security numbers to more than 3 million illegal immigrants to steal jobs from Americans. So think of that. And, you know, they're having a lot of problems with Social Security. I'm going to be the one to save Social Security, but they're having a lot of problems with Social Security because under their system of putting all of these people into it, it's going to blow up and fail. If she's elected, Social Security will fail. It'll be a blow-up like you've never seen before. It'll be a bankruptcy of the entire system, probably the nation itself. You don't have to imagine what a Kamala Harris presidency would be, because you're living through that nightmare right now, and it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And you're going to stop inflation, but we're going to have a crash, and we're going to have a crash like a 1929 crash if she gets in. You saw a gentleman yesterday who got up, one of the top analysts in the world, frankly, and said that if Trump isn't elected, he's predicting you'll have a stock market crash like 1929. He also said the only time and the only reason the stock market has gone up, even though it had some bad moments recently, but I think we'll take a substantial lead. You saw the polls come out today. We're leading in most of the polls, but you'll have I have a lot of friends over there. I don't think they're reporters, however, are they? This was supposed to be for reporters. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I left office, I handed Kamala and crooked Joe Biden a surging economy with no inflation. The 30-year mortgage rate was around 2%. Gasoline had reached $1.87 a gallon. We actually had many months where it was lower than that, but we hit 187, which was a perfect place, an absolutely beautiful number. Real income surged by more than $4,200 a year when I was president. Harris and Biden blew it all up. If Kamala wins the election, the worst is yet to come. You'll have a real problem in the future because people don't respect her in the world. People don't respect her in the economy. Economists are laughing. They can't even believe this is happening to our country, and she wants to change a free enterprise type country into a communist type country. That's what she knows. She's considered far more radical than Bernie Sanders. That's all you have to know. Far more radical. And she picked somebody that's far more radical than Bernie Sanders. He approved a bill recently, tampons in boys' bathrooms. He wants tampons in boys' bathrooms. It's terrible. It's terrible. But that's the person that she picked. Surprising pick to me. I was shocked. He's also got one of the worst run states. Many people are leaving the state, sixth most. And from her state, she destroyed, as the Attorney General, she destroyed California along with Gavin Newsom. And San Francisco, was a great city 15 years ago. Now it's considered almost unlivable. You can't live there. And what they've done to that great state with the beautiful weather like this weather, they have this weather all the time. And they have the ocean, they have the sun, they have everything good. But what they've done to it is a shame. And she's going to do the same thing to our country. It was the policies. They had a recent article, and I didn't know this, but you're allowed to rob a store as long as it's not more than $950. Has everyone ever heard of that? You can rob a store, and you have thieves going into stores with calculators calculating how much it is. Because if it's less than $950, they can rob it and not get charged. That was her that did that. Harris is campaigning on the largest tax increase in American history, including ending the Trump tax cuts, one of the largest tax cuts ever in our country's history, and working with families, a gigantic capital gains tax hike they want, and a new wealth confiscation tax. It's called wealth confiscation tax, which isn't going to make all of her supporters, she's got some supporters that are wealthy people because they're stupid people, but they're wealthy people. She said that a 70 to 80% tax rate is, quote, a bold idea that should be discussed and studied. 70 to 80%. She co-sponsored legislation to abolish very popular private health insurance, which 150 Americans rely on, dumping everyone onto inferior socialist government-run healthcare systems with rationing and deadly wait times while massively raising your taxes. She wants to take away your private health care. There are many people in this country who spend a lot of money on private health care. It's the best health care in the world, by the way. But they want to do it. They worked hard to make money, and they want to do it. Under her, you're not going to have private health care plans anymore. And you could be a wealthy person or a middle-income person, and you want to spend on a really good plan, better than a government plan could be, far better. And you're not going to be allowed. You're all going to be thrown into a communist system. It's a communist system. You're going to be thrown into a system where everybody gets health care. You wait for your doctor like 10 months, 12 months, 11 months. You're going to see some of these plans, how they work in other countries. It's disgraceful. So private health care is gone. She wants it out. Now, she could change on that, and she might change on that. She's changed on everything, but I said, why are you changing? I actually was asking somebody that knows her, why is she changing? She had these policies, ideas for years and years and years, and very solid on. All you have to do is go back and look at your tapes, which many have been discarded because they don't want, discarded by the fake news, because they don't want people to see what she said just a year ago and 2 years ago. I've never seen anything like it. Even my statement on waiters, waitresses, caddies, a lot of great people, people that drive cars. no tax on tips. All of a sudden, out of the blue, she comes out. That was months ago I said that. And she came out and she said, no tax on tips. She could have at least said, President Trump had some great ideas, but one of the ideas was no tax on tips. I think it would have been nice, and people would have accepted that. But she just came out like it was hers, and she never had. In fact, just the opposite. The IRS is all set up to really go after people that do tips. And they passed legislation and signed executive orders, making it really hard.
All right, let's go rob a bank. Let me get Kay up in here.
Ooh, I've been waiting on this call, baby.
We moving.
This my shit. The Union Depository, this is the motherfucking big leagues now, y'all. Hit me with that plan again, baby girl.
We pick up the security car, leave the getaway, walk right in the front door, walk right out with the gold. Then all we gotta do is drive it over to this contact you got.
That's right. Now this lady who paying us is a shady-ass motherfucker. Like she wearing government-issue pantsuit kinda shady. So we ain't fucking around with this one.
Keep us on headset. Let's do this. Hey, Kay, you know who Lil Miss Pantsuit working for?
I know enough not to know. You feel me?
Shit,
Everything she's ever said, she's got to change. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Y'all in uniform, so get in the mindset. Get them ID badges shiny. We playing this low and slow.
That's right. And you know what real security guard motherfuckers don't be doing? Waving their guns around and shit. You draw down, you as good as caught. Remember, you're private security. Gotta play the part, you dig?
You just look like you itching to shoot someone, but don't know how to flick the safety.
Yeah, try to look like you got a head injury and you failed the LSPD psych test. You know, you're a little slow.
Don't say nothing to the guard. Just flash your ID and eyeball that motherfucker.
ID, please.
I was talking to Elon Musk. We had a great discussion the other night.
Okay, on you go. Just swipe your pass inside the elevator, take you right down.
Nice. Sounds like we through.
The car should send the elevator down to the basement.
Next stop, the vault, right, babe?
Mm-hmm. It ain't far.
Hope y'all limbered up. That's solid gold shit.
As border czar, and she was the border czar. She was, I don't know if she was proudly called border czar, but that's what Joe Biden called her. She's the border czar. Everybody said it. And then about 2 weeks ago, she didn't want to be called the border czar anymore. She said, oh, I was never the border czar. It doesn't matter. She was the person responsible.
Yo, you in?
Why y'all whispering, Kay?
I'm hyped, girl. Shit, how the fuck you so chill?
Cause it's my job. You wanna fluster my shit, you better get on your back, player.
Damn. All right, y'all, get that gold upstairs before this girl give me another fucking thing to be thinking about.
Shit, I know that sound. We busted.
I thought the ID took care of that shit.
Drop it! Drop the gold and get your hands up!
Soon as your bag's full, we pull the plug and get the hell out. Cops gonna be hitting you with everything they got.
She called for the bars. Tougher than anybody in this story, and some of those people I know over there, some of those men, a couple of the women.
Oh shit, sounds like a war zone out there.
Keep your head down, just get to the parking lot.
These fools ain't never gonna stop, y'all. Get to the damn car. got it.
Yo, y'all better be fixing to drive that shit.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Y'all in the car?
Drive, motherfucker.
Y'all put the motherfuckers in your rearview mirror yet?
Relax, Kay. This the fun part. Y'all know these fools can't drive for shit.
I feel you, but this client is real insistent that her face don't get seen by no cops.
Ain't no one hit a cop like a cop in a suit.
A general said,
Hey, how we know this client of yours is legit, Kay? This ain't some entrapment bullshit.
She cool, she cool. She need us more than we need her. Came to me cause I ain't from around here. Ain't no LSPD or any other kind of files on me. I keep my shit protected, baby.
Aight, babe. I know you do. If she good with you, she good with me. Why the hell they after a shit ton of gold, though?
Same reason as anybody else, baby. Just a different color house.
Ha! Long as they money green, I'll take it.
Let the church say amen, baby.
Amen.
The money that we sent you, and we're not going to send you the money anymore. You're not getting any of the $750 million and more. We're not giving you any. You are delinquent. You are delinquent.
Hey, I don't hear sirens.
You're not getting
Damn straight, baby. Let's get this shit dropped off and let's get paid.
We would absolutely love to have MS-13 sent back to our country. We think they're wonderful people. They're not wonderful people. They're wonderful killers. But they changed the program and said we're going to get the money. I don't like it. $750 million now is billions of dollars. Right? They're sending money. They're going to send it to the people that our country has to so they're going to get $300 million. Send them. Not only did you give them money, they have to but now they've given them the much more than I took up 750. But they say that it doesn't understand. They said we want to take that back. They said, well, we can get it back. Started bringing it back like thousands.
Hey, don't be bringing the cops to this meeting. The last thing we need is be pulled into some internal affairs bullshit.
And she completed citations to people, the KKK. She said the ICE people, they said you'd like to compare them to the KKK. Well, because you know, when you see, you know, they like Ohio, like Ohio, like Michigan, we have a lot of them. And you see, and this goes, and get out of a van, and all people, they go to pack, it's a pack, not like a political pack, slightly different, even nastier, like a political. But they go to a pack of these killers, and what do you do? I've seen it so many times. What do you do? See this, feet, hands, fighting. 2 minutes later, they stand up and they walk up to F5G. They're walking up. Grab them out, also grab them out, put them in paddy wagons, and they bring them back to their country. They take them back to the country, and the country is open arms, now open arms. And it's amazing that for her to say KKK is very rare, but she doesn't want it. She's a very strong communist lady. She wants to end detention of illegal alien migrants, these vicious monsters who do it. The rate management of our population. She endorsed the funding of police, no cash, no donation, no funder. And the only thing Kamala Harris can deliver is horrific inflation, massive growth, and the death of the American. She's in favor of the death of the American. Everything she does really always stops. They only stops the inversion. One of people go back. I believe it'll be successful. Someday, really successful. Going lots of people. You can't get up early enough. I get up at like why would you do it? Why would you put yourself through? They go after you, they weaponize government after they set around. Why would you I will immediately bring prices down, starting with day one, and demolish war on American energy and we will. That's going to bring down the prices of everything, because energy brought it up. What a wait till my policy. They quickly went back to it, but by that time it was too late. They lost control. But they've gone back to it, and if they win the day after the victory, they'll stop the war. But they went back to it because prices were up. And that's what caused it.
Hey, our people confirmed that you're there. My ass feel richer already.
Electricity prices, I will buy at least half within a 12-month period. We'll be able to reduce prices between regulation and having tremendous supply, which we have. I always say we have more liquid gold than world feet, more than any other nation anywhere in the world, including Saudi Arabia and including Russia. We're going to terminate the Green New Scam. It's called the Green New Deal. It's a scam. And rescind all unspent funds. We're going to rescind that and pay off debt. And we're going to reduce debt. We took almost $10 trillion for nonsense, for absolute nonsense. We'll do bridges, we'll do roads, we'll do things that we need. But we're not going to be spending it and wasting it stupidly and have China laugh at us. I remember when, just a short while ago, Kerry goes, hops in his private plane, flies to China to talk about the energy prices and the energy situation in China with President Xi, who I know very well. Had a very good relationship until COVID came in, but that was a fence too far. But we had a great relationship, and Kerry would go up there, and he'd leave so happy. But they don't do anything. They just talk. They said, "Oh yeah, we're going to do that. Oh, as soon as we get to it." In the meantime, they're building a coal plant every week, but now I hear it's 2 coal plants a week. And we die for energy. We don't have energy. Except for the AI, because they're going to make so much money. And we're not going to be able to do it. We do it if I have it. It's an emergency. We have to be able to compete with China and other countries. And we're able to energy. We want to, and they're going to want to, and they do want to. But they're building at least 1 coal plant a week. Germany, as you know, went a little bit like us, and that was the end of Angela because their whole economy crashed. And their new government is building coal plants all over the place. They're building brand new coal plants, nuclear plants, and other things because Germany was going to fail. So why are we following these countries that tried it and failed? And they're smart countries. They tried it, they failed. Why are we doing this? Why aren't we creating great energy plants, great sources of energy, instead of playing this game with wind that it's ruining everything, killing all your birds, destroying the fields, all these gorgeous fields. You got windmills all over the place, and you have birds. You want to see a bird cemetery? Just go under a wind, and you see thousands of birds dead. The bald eagle, if you kill an eagle, they put you in jail for years. And yet these windmills knock them out like nothing, and nothing happens to the people. Now, it's a green scam. It's a shame. Look, I'm all for clean energy. I want clean water. I want clean air. But you can't destroy your country over it. You just can't do that. We want to stop wasteful spending and big government special interest giveaways. You have giveaways. You have some of these people that are giving, but they're not giving millions and millions of dollars to politicians because they like their policy. They're giving it because they made deals. They're going to take over lots of different things in our country. They're going to build windmills as an example. They're going to build big solar fields and take up half the desert. massive solar fields, and I'm a big fan of solar, but it can't fire up plants. It's not going to fire up plants. Fire up those plants. We got to get them going. And the only thing that can do that is fossil fuel right now. And the only thing that can make electricity, which we all want, is right now fossil fuel and nuclear. And nuclear has its place, a very big place in our country, very big place. China's going with nuclear. France has been going with nuclear for many years. We want to end the Biden-Harris electrical vehicle mandate. We have to get rid of the electric vehicle mandate. And look, Elon endorsed me strongly, most powerful endorsement. He said it 3 or 4 times the other night during our little chat. But a chat that was very well listened to and attended, we know that, right? Broke every single record, I think, in history. And he's a great guy. But I told him, I said, I have one problem. I'm all for the electric car, but it's a very small percentage. I think the electric car is incredible. I think what you've done is incredible. But people are going to want some. People are going to want gasoline-propelled cars. They're going to want hybrids. They're going to want other types of cars. And Elon, they're going to have to do that. And he understands that fully. I think he was amazed by this electric vehicle mandate. They want it for trucks, too. If you do it for trucks, you're not going to have any. You're talking about a supply chain problem. A truck going from New York to Los Angeles, if it's electric, will have to stop 6 times for long periods of time. If you have diesel fuel, it goes all the way, and you can even come a piece of the way back before you have to reload. And with diesel, the truck gets lighter because you're using up the fuel. With the electric, it stays at a heavy weight. An electric truck is 2.5 times heavier than what we would call our traditional trucks. And a man from a company said to me, sir, I've been buying trucks for 50 years. I've been buying them, and every single year they got better and bigger and stronger and more powerful and more efficient, more fuel efficient. And now we build apartments in the truck, sir, and you would be proud to stay in those apartments. And then I say, I don't know if I would, but I know exactly what it meant. Those big, so incredible the trucks. I said, who builds the best truck? They said they all, 4 companies, 5 companies, they all, they're great ones. But for 50 years they got better every year. They started off with 1 truck. I said, how many trucks do you have? 47,000. I said, 47,000? It's the biggest. It's the biggest. So it's in the bottom. Every single thing that has better, more efficient, stronger. So they might just buy electric trucks. But I won't partake in it. They want people, they want the truckers, they want the industry to do that. One of the things with truckers, the battery is much more than that. Don't have a battery, if I think of that. But just as important, the battery and all that goes into electric is much heavier. Truckers weighs 2.5 times more than a normal truck fired up by diesel. Said that the user have to pick up every single brick and load with the weight is so enormous. It would be able to go over these and all weight bearing get around. I said, if it's like, I mean, a 5-year-old child that can hear these things, it doesn't go forward. It takes too much room. It's almost the whole thing if you're carrying a battery. Is anybody who's electric? You know very well. At the end of the meeting, they say, we don't care. Start making your electric truck. We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Public regulatory Armstrong sending households an estimated $5,000 a year to minimum. The massive tax cuts, no tax on tips. Make sure it gets done. She's not going to get it done. She didn't hear about the bill. I said, check it out. No tax. She's been by inflation. Pay tax on Social Security. They will get through the growth. We have tremendous growth potential in this country, but not with these people running it, because all they're going to do is take away, and they want to take away your growth and your growth potential. Again, I say it all the time, we're a nation in decline. We're a failing nation. Right now, we're a failing nation, And we're going to soon be a great nation again. It's going to happen. Another thing we're going to do, having to do with a lot of reasons, a lot of things, and the economy in particular, we're going to seal the border. We're going to stop the invasion. We're going to send the illegal aliens back home. We're going to bring down the cost of health care and housing. We're going to make sure that Social Security is not going to be increased in terms of years, where people have to wait much longer. And we have an obligation to take care of these people. And just so you know, I didn't do it in 4 years. I never even thought about doing it in 4 years. And they probably don't want to do it, but they're going to have no choice. They're going to have no choice. Because a lot of the people that are coming in are being signed into Medicare, they're being signed into Social Security. And it's just going to explode. And it's going to happen very fast, and it's going to be very ugly. It's not going to happen with us. We're going to open up tracts of federal land for housing construction. We desperately need housing for people who can't afford what's going on now. And when we open it up and we take off some of the restrictions and regulations, you know, in California, 50% the cost of a house is regulations. They have regulations that bring the cost of the house up like 50%. We're going to bring back our supply chains to stop costly supply chain disruptions. There are tremendous disruptions. I have all the time. I think we order things, and I keep saying, well, once you get your suit, a supply chain disruption, and I mean, end up getting stuff like 3 months later. I don't know. Say that they're necessarily much anymore, but they are. And I will say that very often we have problems with supply chains where I'm waiting for days for weeks. And I say, by the way, whatever happened to supply chains? Not good. Nobody thought it was going to restore peace and stability all throughout the world. And all over the world. Prime Minister, hungry, very tough man, good man, but he's a tough man. And they asked, what do we need to stop all this? Stop Russia, Ukraine, and all the other countries. He said when President Trump was here, he had no witness. He didn't have Russia lining up at that border to go and attack Ukraine. He never had Hamas, because Hamas had no money. They had no money. Because China was going to try to eliminate the United States. I'm not going to be bad for Iran. Friendly, I hope, for Iran. Maybe not. But we're going to be friendly, I hope. Friendly, but they can't have a nuclear weapon. They can't have a nuclear weapon. And we won't have to make sure they don't have negotiation. But the woman said, if you put Trump in, nothing's going to happen. Everyone's going to be peaceful. They were afraid of Trump. Now, I don't like saying that I said that. I would say that we respected Trump. But he said they were afraid of him. They didn't know where he was going. They were afraid of him. They're not afraid of him. And being afraid is all there, but I would say more than respected him. He didn't do that way, so they were afraid of him. And not had any problems with China, Taiwan, not any problems with Ukraine, Russia. When it comes to the ocean, making America affordable again, we're going to bring back the American community and all the young people that are coming out of school, college, and everything else, and they're not going to have the American community to think about the American community, let them just think about survival. And I just want to end by saying that the ministry takes perspective. You do amazing things with the facts. We have to get the criminals out, we have to get them out immediately and fast and tough. We're going to rely on our local police, law enforcement is being so incredible. And they know someone's like, oh, they're not the local police. You know, serial number and middle name. They can come from a different street from bad guys who come into our country. We're going to rely on local police and we're going to make sure that they have immunity across the nation. Because frankly, our police they're not allowed to take down, you know, that better than anybody. They're not allowed to take a ride. Have cities that have crime that you live in Chicago. On the 4th of July weekend in Chicago, 117 people were shot. anything like that. That's what they put down. Most of the houses in and yesterday I saw I built the equipment that the largest that I bought. But brand new, they had a parade yesterday, a beautiful parade. We were going to get out with dignity and strength. We were there for 21 years. And we were going to keep Bagram because it's 1 hour away. Bagram is this massive airport space that I visited. It's a massive base. Now we're going to keep it because it's 1 hour, not because of Afghanistan, but because it's 1 hour away from where China makes its nuclear weapons. And they were showing it off yesterday, but the fact is that China now controls Bagram. China, can you imagine that? And we left. We were going to stay there. We were going to keep it. We're going to get out with dignity and strength. We're going to take our soldiers out last, not first. We took our soldiers out first. I dealt with Abdul, and he's still the leader. Strong man, smart man. But he understood that if he did anything, because we were losing a lot of people to the snipers. And under Obama, it was terrible. It was brutal. They'd be walking around and just get shot. That was the end of them. Our people, and other people too, civilians. And I let him know that if you do that, we're going to hit you so hard like you've never been hit before. But why, he said, do you send me a picture of my home? Why? Why do you send me a picture of my home? I said, you'll have to figure that one out later. But I said, we're going to have to hit you people so hard like we've never hit anybody. And he understood. And he said, yes, Your Excellency, I understand. He called me Your Excellency. I wonder if he calls that to Biden. I doubt it. But he understood that and respected us. And for 18 months, not one American soldier was killed. Not one. And then I left because of an election where I got millions of more votes than we did in 2016. We got millions of more, from 10 to 12 million votes more. Think of that. No president has ever gone with that kind of an election uptick. Usually the president will get less. President Obama got less, much less, his second time, but he won. But he got much less. We got 10 to 12 million votes more, and that's not including other votes that we can talk about at another day. But this is their votes, 10 to 12 million more. And we left, and that's when all the problems started. We didn't have these problems. We would have never had a problem with Abdul. We would have never had a problem with anybody, frankly. And you have to say, you're looking at things. I don't know, it's hard to believe that you would be in the discussion. They had a troop of 12 people that the chief was considering women, and they marked them the best of the fields, and she was actually rated worse than the 12. They had 12 plus her, 13 people, and they rated her the worst. Now, 6 weeks ago, she was considered to be a failed vice president and a failed administration, a disaster. And now all these people are talking about her like she's Margaret Thatcher, liberal version. She's not smart. I don't believe she loves our country. And we cannot have our country destroyed, because once that happens, she'll never be able to come back. Okay? If you'd like, we can ask her.
Reported that you spoke with President Netanyahu maybe as recently as yesterday. Can you clarify when the last time was you talked to him? What advice, if any, you're giving him about a ceasefire, about ending the war?
The last time was and he came with his wife and a large group of people. And we had a very good relationship with him and with Israel. Again, this would never have happened October 7th would have never happened, would have never ever happened. And he asked whether we could attend the meetings, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours long. And I expect I might be talking to him, but I haven't since then.
Not to take a ceasefire, have you given any advice about ending the war?
I did encourage him to get this over with. You want to get it over with. It has to get over with fast. But have victory, get your victory, and get it over with. Because it's not the killing us. It's not the
Passionately about how God saved your life. And I'm wondering, have you put much thought into why God saved your life? And then for what purpose? And if He's been shielding and protecting you?
So, I don't know if you heard the question. You've spoken about God saving your life, and I've spoken passionately. But something happened. Because that was a miracle. I never knew that way. This was massive. I never thought that particular point was a miracle. As you know, children, great numbers of information was remember that. And it was one that I was less than 50% of the time. It's always at the end of the speech, not at the beginning of the speech. And it's always on the left side or the right side. And yet, for some reason, I called it, and it's not on the telephone, but it's actually it's just hard to hold it for days. For an hour and a half, 2 hours, getting the script. And we just talked about it, and I trying to this show. And I didn't do that every day. So, yeah, God has something. It's a miracle. And God has something. And it is saved. This world is going down. This world is going down. So, it could be, but I believe that my sons are very sure. So, my job is never going to this generation. Eric and Don Marco, 103rd guards. I said, well, that's pretty far away. He said, no, that's like a 1-foot putt with, weapons like the one they used. Plus, he was a good shooter. This guy was a good shooter. He went to the range and shot a lot, and he was supposed to be a pretty good shooter. They said a bad shooter would have hit the target almost 100% of the time. So something happened. And I have to say the Secret Service sniper did an amazing job. He had 5 seconds to find the target and hit the target, and he hit the target within think of this 5 seconds. And he was much further away because he was over here, and this other person was over there. So you have to give credit. And I have to also say about Secret Service, when I was hit, I knew it because when I touched, there was blood pouring all over my hand. I said, I guess I know what that is. And I was going down for protection. And they were screaming, get down, get down. There was bullets. And those Secret Service guys were, and person Kate, they were on top of me in a matter of, I think, 3 seconds. It was time to, and bullets were coming at it. I would hear the bullet. I didn't realize you could hear it, but now I know very well. Those bullets were going right over my head. They were there and very brave. There was nobody that said, I'm not going to be going there. They just, they were there very quickly, and they were very brave. There were mistakes made.
Oh, okay. This is seriously fresh. Guy was in prison awaiting trial when he jumped the freaking bus. And he stole a regular bus, and let's not get into what happened to that, but if we're gonna get him, we need to get on it now.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about credit card debt for just a second. You've got all these
Reached a record.
It's a record.
Right,
48% up. And many families going to get this debt.
Okay, I got the alert this morning. A goddamn real-life Supermax prison break.
Credit card debt is at the New York Times. Watch your message here in America. How we're going to solve that. What will they do? And I think they should do it. They should. That was them. So citizenship. Well, they have that citizenship. But we should get that done. But my message to them would be pretty simple. I'm going to fix the problem. she was saying when she gets in, she's in now. And especially with Biden, because it is not message. But you know what? She's in. She's still saying, why didn't she do it? It's like one question, it's the easiest question. She was playing. Why didn't she do it? That's what I answered. Day one, we're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to close the border. We're going to let people come in, but they're going to come in.
Did you see the bus he was on?
Come into our
From there he would run off on foot, so he can't have been far from where you are now.
I would say we're going to try. We're going to close the border. We're not going to let. We're going to stop the millions of people coming in, and we're going to take all of the criminals that have come in, and we know every one of them. I know. The local police know better than anybody else. They're going to work with us. I've spoken to a lot of the sheriffs. Every policeman, virtually every law enforcement group in America has endorsed Trump. I don't think anybody's endorsed Kamala. Not one. I don't think anybody's endorsed him. You know that better than anybody. In Florida, all over California, they endorse me. We have the relationship I have with law enforcement. And these are great people, and people that we have to really cherish and respect and let them do their job and protect them. And you'll always have a bad apple in everything. You have bad apples in some corners, that I can tell you many. I'd say about 80%. But you're always going to have bad apples. And you have very, very few if you look at it. Very, very few. You have to let them do their job. You have to protect them. But basically, we're going to get the energy prices down almost immediately, and we're going to close the border, and we're going to get the crooked ones out, the bad ones out, and we're going to let a lot of people come in, because we need more people, especially with AI coming and all of the different things, and the farmers need, everybody needs it. But we're going to make sure that they're not murderers, killers, and drug dealers, and the kind of people that we have largely coming in right now.
Can your allies want to win in November and say your current strategy isn't working, that you need to stop with these personal attacks on Kamala Harris and deliver a more disciplined message? Do you agree? And also, you added more people to your campaign today. Is that a sign of a shifting strategy?
No, it's a sign of we want to close it out. We have great people. Susie is fantastic, as you know. Chris is fantastic. They're leading it. Corey Lewandowski's coming in. He'll be, personal envoy. He'll be at some level. And they're going to be, they're doing a great job. Look, we take it from all of the abuse, we take it from the fake news media, all of this horrific abuse we take. And all I want to do is make the country good. All I want to do is have strong borders and good education. We want to have choice for education. So with so many different things, you would think would be the other. We rebuilt the military. We did so many great things. But that's the way it's been for Republicans, and I guess more so for me than anybody in history, and that's okay. Because we're leading in the polls. For the most part, we're leading in the polls. We're leading Biden by a lot. We're leading now, but I think when she's exposed, I think we're going to beat her by a lot more than we would have beat Biden by. Because he had a little group of people that have been voting for him for a long time. She doesn't have that. People don't know who she is. Because of what she's done. I'm very angry that she weaponized the justice system against me and other people. Very angry with her. I think I'm tired of personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her. And I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good or bad, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. It was just a sound bite. And she called Jay. Ohio State. At the top of his class. And it's not kind of terrible. She's moving. This bitch. I want to have strong borders. She doesn't want to have lower taxes. All my life I've watched as politicians campaign, and I've always been, for the most part, on the other side, on the side that these people are on. And they always talk about...
Once you got party, bring it straight to bottom
it's
dollar.
the only campaign I've
You
ever
punk motherfucker!
We're going to increase your taxes. I don't know. So I don't think so. I don't think people know who she is yet. When people
Look, man, you got one last chance to let me out.
You know what? I could have done that very easily. She was so guilty. And I said to my people, wouldn't it be terrible to put, I don't know, wouldn't it be terrible to take, and we won the election, wouldn't it be terrible to take a former Secretary of State who was the wife of the President of the United States and put her into a prison? But that's what they want to do with me, and I did nothing wrong.
Did we step on the
It's all
LSPD's
crooked
toes with that
politics
last
and
target?
really crooked
Probably.
judges.
Do we care?
You know, I have a
Absolutely
gag
not.
order. You know I can't even talk about it right now. You know that I have a judge